So, you grew up watching cartoons. Life felt simple back then. Bright colors, loud characters, stupid jokes that somehow made your whole day better. And in the middle of all that chaos, there was always that one character. The guy who didn't fit, grumpy, tired, annoyed at everything, hated his job, hated people, hated noise. Back then, he was the joke. You looked at him and thought, man, imagine being that miserable. Yeah, that was before life slowly turned you into him. Because nobody tells you this when you're a kid. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become that person. It happens quietly, slowly, almost invisibly. At first, it starts with responsibility. You grow up, you finish school. People start asking you questions like, what are you gonna do with your life? And at that moment, you don't really know, but you pretend like you do because everyone else seems like they have it figured out. So you pick something, a path, a job, a direction, not because you love it, but because it makes sense, because it's safe, because it's what you're supposed to do. And just like that, you enter the system. Now your life has a structure. Wake up, go to work, come back, sleep, repeat. At first it doesn't feel that bad. It even feels kind of grown up, like, wow, I'm actually doing something with my life. But then days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into something way more dangerous. Routine. Because routine doesn't feel like a problem at first. It feels stable, comfortable, predictable. But over time, it becomes a loop. You wake up already tired. Not physically, mentally. You go to work, do the same tasks, have the same conversations, see the same faces, laugh at the same jokes, even when they're not funny anymore. And slowly, your energy starts to fade. Things that used to excite you don't hit the same anymore. Games, movies, hanging out, even your favorite things start to feel like meh. And you don't understand why, because nothing is technically wrong. You're not in danger. You're not struggling to survive. Everything is fine. But that's the problem. Fine slowly becomes empty, and that's when the small changes start showing. You get irritated faster. Noise becomes annoying. People become exhausting. You start enjoying silence more than anything else. Not because you're peaceful, but because you're drained. Weekends, they stop feeling like freedom. They start feeling like recovery time. You don't go out to live. You stay in to recharge. And one day, in the middle of a random moment, it hits you. You're not the main character anymore. You're the tired one, the quiet one, the one who just wants to get through the day without problems. You became him. And the craziest part, there was no big moment where it happened. No warning. No, this is the day your personality changes. Just a slow transformation caused by repetition. Because when you do the same thing every day, your brain adapts. It stops expecting excitement, stops looking for meaning, stops caring as much. Not because you're lazy, not because you're broken, but because you're tired. Tired of a system that doesn't change. Tired of putting energy into things that don't give it back. Tired of feeling like your time isn't really yours. And suddenly, that character you used to laugh at, he makes perfect sense. You understand why he's always annoyed, why he hates his job, why he just wants peace. Because now, you feel it too, and this is where it gets uncomfortable. Because you start asking yourself questions. Is this it? Is this what the rest of my life looks like? Wake up, work, repeat, forever? And the answer isn't always clear. You try to escape it. Maybe you think, I just need a different job. I need a change. I need something new. So you switch things up. New place, new people, new environment, and for a moment, it works. You feel alive again. But then, slowly, the same pattern comes back. Different job, same feeling. Because the problem isn't always where you are. It's how life is structured around you. A system built on repetition, consistency, routine. And yeah, that system keeps the world running, but it also slowly drains the people inside it. So now you're stuck in this weird place. You're not a kid anymore. You can't go back to that carefree mindset, but you're also not happy with this version of life. You're just existing in between. And that's when the realization really hits. You didn't become that tired, grumpy character. Because you failed, you became him. Because you adapted. Because you survived. Because you learned how to deal with a life that isn't always exciting, isn't always meaningful, isn't always yours. And suddenly, that character doesn't look miserable anymore. He looks real. He looks like someone who's just been through the same loop for too long. And maybe that's what makes this realization hurt the most. Not that you became him, but that you finally understand him. So yeah. Congratulations, you grew up, you became responsible, you entered the real world, and somewhere along the way, without even noticing, you became Squidward. And yeah, it kinda sucks.